Welcome to the Lunch and Learn. Your girl Janice is live, and I am extremely excited to do a little Q&A with y'all today. I am super excited. And also, guys, if you're not following me on YouTube, what are you doing? Go ahead and follow me on YouTube. My YouTube is popping right now. We post videos every single Wednesday morning at like 7 a.m. So I'm doing a Q&A. So a question that I get asked often is, do I need a beauty supply educational background, cosmetology, license, retail experience to start a beauty supply store? The answer to that is no. I had none of those things. I didn't have a cosmetology. I didn't have beauty supply background or anything. I had a retail background, a business background, but I didn't have any beauty background. And here's an interesting fact. The Asians, when they started this business, also had no beauty experience background, retail background, anything like that, and started up these beauty supply stores and continued to dominate for like 3 decades. So I don't want anyone to feel like you need to have some type of background, some type of education, some type of a license. You don't need any of those things. The only license that you need is your reseller's license or wholesale license. So when you guys get your business license, right? You get your LLC, your S corp, whatever. You set up your business, and then you get your EIN number, and then you get a reseller's license or a wholesale license. They really mean the same thing. So this in every state actually doesn't even require for you to have this. So I feel like in Texas and certain states you don't need this wholesale license, but in New York you do. So that is the only other thing that you would need to start a beauty supply business is your resellers or wholesale license. And you can get that on your state's website. So all these things are really simple to set up. In terms of education, you just really need to understand the business of retail. So if you've ever taken a class, free class, I share this all the time. You need to be able to speak the retail language when you are coming into this industry, because these people don't have time to educate you on what it is that you're ordering, things of that nature. So you do need to be well versed in basic retail concepts, how retail business works. You need to be able to have those conversations with the vendors when you're on the phone, and just in general, right? Because negotiation is a huge part of being able to run a beauty supply business in a successful, profitable way. So that's what I would say to that. But you definitely need to get with a mentor, with a coach. You need to get aligned with somebody. I would say you go ahead and get aligned with your girl, because I am the best of the best right now. And if that's something that you like want to do like tomorrow, go ahead and DM me. Go ahead and DM me. Another question that I get asked often is, how much does it cost to open a beauty supply store? That answer is going to vary, of course. But for you to have a number in mind so that you can go ahead and start to plan, depending on where you are in the world, right? Depending on how big of a store you want, depending on a whole bunch of factors, right? I would say the minimum that you would need to start is going to be around $75,000. The absolute minimum for the absolute like smallest store with the smallest operation with very basic things happening. 75,000. I don't tend to tell people to only have 75,000, because 9 times out of 10 you want to open a store that's going to make you very good money. So you want to open a store that is going to have enough space to make money. You want to have enough space to do services in your beauty supply store. And so I always suggest, and then also it depends on the location. So if you want to go to a high traffic location, you know you're going to be paying a premium price point to be in a high traffic, high visibility area, right? So all those things considered, when we open stores, we're like doing double that. So it's like we're taking out loans for like 150 to 175, and we're getting it done with that budget. Now, when we talk about the budget, right, you want to look at three main things, right? Focusing on three main things when you're looking at your budget. So the first main thing is going to be your cost of inventory, right? You want to make sure that when you are opening your beauty supply store, that you have enough inventory to fill the space. This is going to be hard to figure out if you've never opened a store before, if you never opened a beauty supply store before. But just have the idea that the inventory is going to be around a quarter of your budget. So I would say over 33% of your budget, 30 to 40% of your budget is going to go towards inventory, depending on the size of the space. Then the second major thing to think about with your budget is going to be the build out for your space. Now, this is also going to vary, but I do tell people, do tell clients that when you're looking for a space, to try to look for a white box space or a second generation space so that you don't have to do too much work in the space. I am not at all a fan of doing or of getting into a raw space, brand new space. They don't got the floors, they don't got the walls up, they don't got lighting. It's a canvas, right? We see those new developments. It's the canvas. Sounds good, looks good because you can customize it the way you want, but you will be spending half of your budget on customizing a space that you do not own. And so I never suggest that. I always suggest get a second generation space and just paint the walls different, put up your fixtures, do what you got to do to keep that down, to keep that cost down. But typically your build out is going to be 15 to 20% of your budget as well. And then lastly, you want to look at your working capital for your beauty supply operations. So you want to have at least 3 to 6 months of working capital saved to be able to support your business as you are growing your customer base. So when you first open, no one knows about you, right? But if you did it the right way, like how I teach y'all, people will know. Some people will know about you. But when you first open, no one knows about you. So you have to like build up your customer base. And that takes time. I will tell you, I was like 5 years in business and I still had people coming in my store every single day saying, "Oh, are y'all new? I didn't know this was here. I live in the neighborhood. I live down the block. I didn't know this store was here." I'm talking about I was 5 years in business and we still had people walk in every single day and not know that this beauty supply store was here. So it goes to show you it does take time to get the word out, right? So in that first 6 months, you want to make sure that you have enough money to cover all of your overhead expenses. Now, what are the overhead expenses? Your light bill, your rent, your payroll, your marketing costs, basically all of the consistent fixed costs of your business. You need to have 6 months saved in a bank account somewhere so that you do not have to worry about firing people. You don't have to worry about cutting down marketing costs. You don't have to take out extra loans or pay with your credit card or use your personal funds. Like you will have this money set aside an account just paying all of these things as you are building out your customer base for the first 6 months. Now, this is going to be another 10 to 15% of your startup budget when you guys get started in your beauty supply store. Okay. So those are the three major costs to consider. And so when you're looking at the overall budget, you're also going to have shelving and equipment. You're also going to have your security. Every store needs cameras. You're also going to have, the fixtures, the hooks, the shelving, all of those things, right? The signage is also a big ticket item. Some signage costs about $10,000 for your sign outside, and then you have signage on the inside, and you have accent fixtures and things of that nature. So, taking all of those things, then you have uniforms, you have POS system that you have to get. POS system could be like $2,000 for just one system, right? So looking at all of those major pieces, right? You want to wrap your mind around 75 to 100,000, but really for the stores that we open, which are like, we're trying to go bigger, you're going to be starting around 100, 150,000 to start. Okay. Now, the other question that you may ask, like, okay, so if it takes me 100,000 or so to open, like, when do you actually see the return on that investment? Like that, I tell people all the time, that is the question you want to ask. Like, what does the return on investment look like? How long? How much does a store make in a year? Those are the good questions, right? So the average return time, like the time that it takes people to like see like their return, is about 6 months, 6 to 8 months. Some people may take a year, which is still amazing. Like a year to see your whole return is amazing, because the beauty supply business is a heavy cash flow business if you are in the right area with the right product mix, with the right customer base. Like all these things need to be lined up and be correct for you to see the benefits and the profits and the cash flow that the Asian Americans see. All right. So you need to make sure that you have all of these, the formula, right, set up properly. Like what I've just shared with you guys, like making sure that you're in a high traffic, very visible area, making sure that there's parking, like it's a convenient spot, like there's ample parking, people not fighting over parking spaces, things of that nature. Like all of these things people look at when they're choosing a place to shop at. So for me, if I'm a driver, right? So if I'm a driver, I'm always going to go with the place that has the best parking. I don't want to, and I'm also in like New York City, so I don't want to have to be driving around for hours looking for spaces. Even if I have to drive like further out a little bit more, I will actually drive further out if I know I'm going to get the convenience that I need, especially as a mom of like a lot of kids. I need convenience. I need like fast in and out, good service, all of those things. So all of those things you need to think about when you guys are like building up your stores. Like all these things matter. And when you guys are building up your stores, you need to be thinking about all of these things. Love you guys. Bye.